Let's talk about this though. I wanted to bring this up because it was a announcement that came out today, yesterday or Monday, whenever it was, about college football redshirt rule. Now, if you don't know about the redshirt rule, it used to be like, go back 20 years ago that you would redshirt a player and he couldn't play at all like the season. Like he wasn't allowed to play at any point during the season if he was on a redshirt. About 10 years ago, they changed it and they said you can play up to 4 games and still keep your red shirt. So now they had a meeting the other day, which was with a bunch of coaches in college football, and they did the red shirt rule. Um, they voted on that, and they unanimously voted that the red shirts would move from 4 games to 9 games. Now, this still has to go through like an NCAA Division One committee ranking or poll or whatever, however the fuck they do it. But 4 to 9, I mean, you might as well just give them 5 full years of eligibility. I mean, 9 games, and this include and like the fact that you are now saying like you can play until we're eliminated from the playoffs and then we can redshirt you.
Mhm.
Like, that is crazy. That is absolutely crazy, and apparently the meeting, from what I read, was mostly coaches, like I had mentioned, and they wanted like, Kirby Smart was there, Dabo Swinney was there, Marcus Freeman was there, and the coaches thought that they were all gonna be talking about the calendar, and apparently they just got stuck on a vote to give players, like, another 5 games of eligibility. Just a hilarious concept. Basically feels like they are just giving players another COVID year. Like, how COVID basically, if you were here during COVID, like, you got to play, like, an extra year. That kinda is what it feels like. Like, I just don't see the it baffles me. So I just wanted to hear you guys and what you might have thought of on that.
Yeah, well, I think this goes in great with our segment that we closed our last episode on, talking about how college football is killing themselves in real time. I think this is stupid. I think it's dumb. It makes no sense. It makes no sense to me. Another thing that kind of goes hand in hand with this is TJ Finley, who's been quarterback at LSU, Auburn, Texas State, Tulane, Western Kentucky, and then last year Georgia State. He got a seventh year at Encarte Ward, a seventh year. But, but meanwhile, right now, the Trinidad Chambliss can't get a sixth. Can't get a sixth, and
Yeah, for
that's
having
the issue.
tonsillitis.
Yeah, it makes no sense. College football makes no sense anymore. Makes no sense. We're gonna have a 24-team playoff, and fast forward a couple years, we're gonna have people playing 9 games. And I'll also say what this opens it up to is you were talking about playing until you're eliminated from the playoffs. What about these teams in the SEC, Big Ten who play three lower level teams every single year? Well, you just don't have to play those games. But you can be our starting quarterback, and if you get to game 12, there's 3 games you didn't play in, and then you could damn near play the entire season. And then if you get to the SEC championship game, you get to your conference championship game, it's like, all right, we're going to burn your red shirt. You go in and play. If you don't make it, all right, you're not going to play in this. No, we're not going to play in the conference championship. You're not going to play. You're not going to play the bowl game. You get that whole year back, and that's what this opens it up to as well. So I think it's dumb. I think it makes no sense. And I think college football has completely lost what it was college football. What was college football? And you say it right. I mean, I remember like when in my playing days, it was like when you were redshirted, it's like you wouldn't dress, like you would dress sometimes and say, all right, here's a headset. You don't even bring your helmet out on the field because you're not playing. You are not playing. You are going to be redshirt. It doesn't matter what happens unless it's like some huge game. Because I remember like you throw it back to like when we're in like middle school watching like Georgia games, and I remember it being the biggest deal. Like who was the quarterback? He was number 12. He was like our punter.
Bryce
It turned
Ramsey?
up Bryce Ramsey. I remember it being
What a
such a big.
callback.
I remember it being such a big thing with. I think it was Aaron Murray.
The
Maybe
punt.
you know what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about Hudson Mason.
Mhm.
When Aaron Murray was the quarterback and they dressed Hudson Mason for the SEC championship game. In case Aaron Murray got hurt, they were going to burn his red shirt and trot him out there to try and go to the national championship. And that's just how crazy things have changed. Like I know 2012 feels like it was a long time ago. In the grand scheme of things, that was 14 years ago. That's not that long. That's not that long ago in the grand scheme of things. College football's been played for 200 years at this point. And now we're looking right down the road and say, hey, you can just play in 9 games and still get that whole year back. You can play in the college football for 7 seasons. We got 12 teams compete for the national championship game. We're about to get rid of the SEC championship game. We're about to get rid of the Big Ten championship game. Bowl season sucks now. Nobody watches the bowls. We got players that are going to, like I said, 7 schools in 7 years. We got people getting paid $5 million. We got the whole Dylan Raiola situation where he's committed to this team. But all these transfer portal guys are committed. Committed. They're not. A lot of them aren't signed. They're committed. They could just up and leave. We got that guy at Washington who's signing a contract and decides, you know what, I want to test my waters, and he's gonna try and get out of it. College football's lost its way, and it's a shame.
Oh, but they let him back, dude. It's all good. They're good. Just because he announced it in the middle of a funeral of another athlete at the school that everybody was at and he wasn't there doesn't mean, and he did the transfer portal thing. He's good. They're good. They're fine.
Yeah,
Um, I think I'm gonna counterpoint to what Jake just said. I think it makes sense, but it's I haven't thought about it from y'all's perspective in terms of like, okay, well, somebody's just gonna get to like game 9 of the SEC conference schedule and they're just like, well, I'm done. I'm done. Or, these conferences that play non-conference games are just gonna play their depth guys during the conference schedule, not play them in the 3 games at the beginning of the season or anything in the postseason, just so they can save their red shirts. More so what I'm thinking about that 5th-year model that they were trying to get to, and they were trying to provide an incentive for the players to not opt the hell out in the middle of the season. Because now, here's the thing, with it being 9 games, a player doesn't have the opportunity to opt out until, like, the bread has been buttered. You know where your season's at. You know where everything is at. Some of the mystique about opting out after game 4 for some of these guys already right now is because they can go ahead and say, "Well, I'm gonna be in the portal anyways. I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go find more money elsewhere," because I think that there's better, and there's some unknown to it, right? You don't think if you're 2 and 2. Let's say Miami lost the first 2 games this season or something like that, or let's say you're Notre Dame, right? You start off 0 and 2, after game 4, you're 2 and 2, you're like, we're not gonna go to the playoff, I can just get in the portal." Now, to me, it changes it from a player decision to a coach decision. It's still gonna be a little bit of a player's decision, but there's more leeway there, so they're not gonna have the pressure to make that decision. Another thing that it does too is get some out of court issues from putting the 5th year of eligibility on. Because the case that was gonna come, I ain't read or heard anybody talk about this yet, by the way. This is me just riffing off my basic thoughts. I am gonna go look into this later, but I believe that if they were to do this, okay, the first case they would get would be from every football player that's graduated in the NIL era in the last couple of years that did not get 5 years eligibility. Okay. And they're going to go say that you took a year of value away from me, and they're going to blow up the NCAA essentially in that process because
It's
somebody's
like,
going to be liable for the damages.
now they got all these, G League players and stuff, like, coming back to play college basketball.
Well,
You
the
guys see
whole
that?
thing is effed up because there's nobody. They got the biggest cruise ship in the world, and it's running right next to the cruise ship of the NFL, which is the biggest sports organization in the Western Hemisphere. But there's a captain on that boat, and everybody knows that guy is. There's nobody driving the ship over here. Mark Emmert is a name that's just been forgotten. I don't even know if he's still the NCAA president. Who gives a damn? It doesn't matter. Like if you wanted it to be that way, or you want to do something about it, like it takes the coaches to come together and be like, okay, this is how we want it to be done. And if that's the way it's gonna be, I'm fine with it because I think they'd get shit done a lot faster. They just got so much other things to worry about. It's hard for us to task the coaches to fix football and do that. But yeah, I mean, you're having midseason signees in basketball because nobody's telling them they can't. Like this guy is coming out of the G League. You're gonna have this is what you're gonna end up having. You're gonna have a 7th round quarterback say, I'm not playing for the Miami Dolphins or the New York Jets. I'm going back to college. This
Well,
what's
now
going
you
it's
can't. You,
gonna
you can't. Well,
happen.
I mean, by rule, you can do that because remember the rule for forever was once you sign an agent, once you are signed to an agency, you cannot come back to college because you make money at this point. But now you have like the Ty Simpson situation we talked about at the end of last episode, where he signed an agent, which I mean most of them already have agents because they get paid now. He's declared for the draft, and now it's like, well, maybe I can come back to play at Miami and make $6.5 million next year.
Like
Yeah,
first round signing bonus money at the back end of that thing, money. That's insane. Rules are cool when they're enforced, but if you have nobody to enforce rules, they're just words on a damn piece of paper and nobody gives a shit.
Do
Like
you think
it's not going to matter if somebody's not there to enforce whatever rule there is for this.
I saw a take today that was like the NFL is gonna have to start like bumping up like second and third round draft pick salary to like signing bonus because of the way colleges and NIL is working to bring back athletes. Like, it's at this point, it seems like if you're a first round pick, unless you're Dante Moore, like, why? Yeah, you should go. But like, if you're, second, third round pick, it's like, oh, well, you're not even going to make as much money as in you're going to make coming back to college.
Good luck getting that done. I don't think the owners will agree to it. Here's the situation that's on the NFL's hands. It kind of matters to them what the hell's going on in the NCAA, and they've kind of turned a blind eye to this thing for forever. But Goodell probably needs to go meet whoever the ghost of the NCAA is that's running that shit. Maybe it's an AI bot. I don't know. Go talk to it and be like, look, we're going to send a guy. We're going to help you set up your league to run. If you want to go to a pro style, okay, you need to go in and say you got to have clear and defined rules about salary cap, player movement, roster retention, etc. Things that are important for NFL organizations going to be the same thing for college. All right, if you're going to pay these guys, everybody's got to abide by the same damn rules. You can't have shit that went on this year, like with Texas Tech and LSU are front loaded contracts in Texas, and now they're resetting the market for all these other guys in the portal because they got more money. And if the NFL doesn't, what you're going to have, G, and the reason why it matters to them is because they're going to get less players come to the league. The talent pool is going to get watered down,
Mhm.
like it already isn't. If you can't see for yourself that the talent pool, and go talk to the goats of the NFL and college football and see what they think. They're telling you that the product is not what it used to be, and it's not going to get any better by raising the price of a third round pick. College football needs to get its bearings back about itself. Like, these kids are too damn entitled. They have yet to earn a thing. Guys used to not think they made it in life until they got their second contract in the NFL. Now it's your second NIL deal.
Mhm. Interesting. Interesting stuff. Wanted to get you guys' takes on that. We'll see how everything goes